used to think of nature and wildlife, our national parks came to mind. Places like Yellowstone and the Grand Tetons. I thought of them because that's where I thought I had to go for an amazing wildlife encounter. It turns out this is not the case. You can have an amazing wildlife encounter wherever you live. I live in San Luis Obispo County, and I didn't realize all the wildlife that surrounds us until I started looking for it. We have some tremendous opportunities. For example, there are wild turkeys that live in my neighborhood and frequent my yard. Wildlife in the yard presents a great opportunity for a relationship. Because animal relationships take time, it is nearly impossible to build trust with a wild animal in a national park. Due to the connection I have with these turkeys, they know that I am not a threat. Therefore, they allow me to watch them at a close, but always respectful distance. There is also a red fox that frequents my property, although, understandably, the fox tends to only come out during the night. Try to find a hawk in your own backyard. They tend to attract interesting encounters with other birds. I didn't fully realize how many birds there were outside my house until I really started looking for them. I encourage you to look outside your windows and perhaps even sit outside your house for a few minutes to observe what is really happening. Birds are fascinating to watch and can provide hours of free entertainment. I particularly love robins, and they are almost everywhere. Because they are so common, robins are easy to find and can be watched frequently. Did you know that this California thrasher lives here? Bald eagles can also be found here, which I didn't know until I started looking for them. This one was soaring above my home in Atascadero. San Luis Obispo County is apparently known for its bobcats. I've been in Montana and Wyoming, and upon telling other photographers where I'm from, they'll say, "Oh, that's great bobcat country." I didn't know it was great bobcat country, and neither do most people who I talk to. So I began to look for bobcats. It turns out they are here. In fact, I've had more bobcat encounters in San Luis Obispo County than everywhere else combined. My technique for finding bobcats is paying attention to the bird alarms while I'm hiking. Birds are very aware of all potential predators because their lives depend on it. Therefore, if you hear a bird alarming, make sure to look around for a camouflaged cat. Quail are fun to watch, with their comical noises and movements. We have several species of owls in San Luis Obispo County. To find owls, go out at dawn and dusk. If you find an owl, and I hope you do, keep a considerate distance so as not to disturb it. All of the footage in this film was taken with a telephoto lens that allows me to keep my distance and not interfere with natural behavior. Cottontail rabbits tend to be very timid and generally will not show themselves when people are present. However, at places with frequent visitors, you may find rabbits that are less skittish. At Santa Margarita Lake, this rabbit seems to be completely at ease with my presence. Once you find a rabbit, or any animal for that matter, be sure to observe it from a respectful distance. A respectful distance is the distance at which an animal continues its natural behavior without being disturbed. I admire the egret's incredible ability to stand motionless for extended periods of time. It tests my patience as a photographer. If you persevere, egrets are sure to give you a show as they snatch their food out of the water. Here are some grebes, with their mesmerizing bright red eyes. White pelicans are fun to watch skate across the water as they land. Pelicans can also be found anywhere along the seaboard of the Central Coast, such as these brown pelicans near San Simeon. I like to watch them dive for fish or soar along the waves. Sea otters are playful creatures and wrap themselves in kelp to keep from drifting away. Look for them in the kelp beds off the coast and in the Morro Bay estuary. Kestrels are one of my favorite birds. They're super small and fast, which makes them a challenge to photograph. You can often see them on fence posts along Highway 1. Anywhere along the Central Coast, a variety of seals can be found. I found these harbor seals basking in the sun on the rocks north of San Simeon. I was nervous that this little seal would impale himself on these rocks, but it seemed to know exactly what it was doing. Egrets can also be found on the coasts in the tide pools searching for food. We are lucky to have a rookery of the second largest seal in the world, the northern elephant seal. The Piedras Blancas rookery consists of 6 miles of seashore. While the seals inhabit the rookery all year long, December through March is an especially exciting time. This is when the large males come ashore to fight for territory. And the breeding females give birth to their pups. However, most of the time the seals are sleeping, scratching, and then sleeping some more. The nature in San Luis Obispo County is outstanding. We have bobcats and seals, otters and rabbits, eagles and songbirds, egrets, foxes, you name it, we have it. Well, not quite, but almost. I know that every time I go outside, I feel more connected with myself and the world around me. I invite you to join me in discovering the wildlife and nature opportunities that abound in San Luis Obispo County. Take a hike down one of our many trails, stroll along the beach, and spend some time in your own backyard. See what nature has in store for you. You never know what wildlife you may find.